Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Computer Doctor Show, Mobile Edition. In this episode, I thought I would go over if it is possible for a cell phone, an operating system running on a smartphone, Android, or even an Apple phone, is it possible to get a virus in a phone? So I thought I would just answer this question. So the short answer is yes, it is possible. Anytime any device has the ability to connect to the internet, there's always the idea of malicious software or malicious programming being introduced into the device, or for any type of reprogramming of some sorts that would make the device do things that it was not initially programmed to do. Obviously, the function of a cell phone is to obviously make and receive phone calls, text messages, run apps, which are majority of the things are being done to Facebook, all of these other social media apps that are out there. So anything that would be installed into the device that would make it malfunction or not perform these features or these functions that it was originally designed to do would constitute as malicious programming, or we can say a virus. So if there is the possibility of a virus being put into a mobile device, then should there be an antivirus that is designed to fix some of these viruses that your phone can get? Well, it would seem logical, but inherent in a lot of these, in the two major systems. So when I talk about the two major systems, we're talking about Android and Apple. So the Apple iOS mobile version of the operating systems, because that's what these phones are. They're basically small computers, small supercomputers at this point, right? So they run on operating systems. The names of these operating systems is iOS and Android. Those are the two main ones. There's also Microsoft has the Microsoft phone, and then there's also the Google Pixel, but those aren't really that popular yet. So I'm just going to stick with the main ones, iOS and Android. Thank you. So inherent in these operating systems is a security measure that does not allow apps to be installed unless they are coming from the approved app store. So for Android, that refers to the Google Play Store, and for iOS, that would refer to the apps store. As long as you're getting your apps from those stores, you're pretty much okay and safe. Okay? On occasion, you may run across a message either by email, or you might be on a browser. You might be on a browser on your phone, and it may give you a message that your device has malicious or virus activity on it, and it's going to give you a button to push to get rid of it, the same way that it would like a computer. So, as of today, this is May of 2020 that I'm talking, there's no need for you to have any additional there's no need to have any additional software that specifically finds viruses in your phone and gets rid of them. There are, however, programs and apps that are designed to increase your battery life, or to shut down apps that you're not really using that much, that are taking up your speed and taking up battery power, because those are two significant things. There are programs that will help boost the performance of the phone or the mobile device. And by the way, this goes for phones and tablets. Anything that uses an app-based operating system. You can have a tablet that's running on Android or a iPad that's running on iOS. So the same thing applies in both cases. So there are devices out there that will make your device run slower, but it's not really getting rid of viruses. It's really shutting down unnecessary background running programs that, in order to make other apps run well, these other services have to be running on your phone. They tend to know which ones are okay to shut down, and it'll shut those down. Then immediately you'll start noticing that your phone is running faster. Another good thing to do on your phone, just like any other computer, shut it down from time to time. If you're not too savvy with a phone, most people just leave their phone on all the time. Now, under normal circumstances, there's nothing really wrong with leaving it on all the time. But from time to time, you might need a fresh start and a fresh connection with the cell phone towers that are in your area. And when we do a shutdown, we're not just talking about a shutdown for a minute. We're talking probably about shutting it off for a good 10 minutes or so. Okay? That way it fully and completely disconnects from the network. And then when you start it up again, it'll start up from a fresh connection. You want to do that anytime you're having trouble, or anytime your phone feels like it's running sluggish, or you're starting to get a lot of dropped phone calls, or people are saying that you sound funny on several phone calls. That doesn't mean that if you just get one bad phone call, that doesn't mean that you have to download a virus protector, you have to speed up the thing, you got to close your apps, you got to shut down your phone. Doesn't mean you have to do all that stuff. Well, what I'm talking about is if you've noticed a recent pattern. For example, you've done 3 phone calls, and all 3 phone calls, everyone said that you sound funny. Or you've made 3 phone calls, and all 3 of them seem to cut you off at some point, right? When your phone starts doing wacky things like that, that's a good indication that it might be time to do a fresh restart. Shut down the phone for about 10 minutes, turn it back on, and try it again. If you're still having trouble, after some time after that, it might be a good idea to call your cell phone provider and tell them what's going on. They're probably going to run you through a few tests. Usually there might be an update on the phone itself. Sometimes there might be a problem with the battery. Sometimes there might be a problem with the antenna. Okay, there's all kinds of internal things that could be going on with the phone itself. But as far as viruses on the phone, yes, it is possible, but highly unlikely if you only use the App Store on the device, and you only use the apps that are actually approved by the operating system. Okay, Android manages the Google Play Store. Obviously, Android is owned by Google, and Apple owns the App Store. Okay, the Apple Store. So as long as you stick to those stores, you're not going to. The chances of you getting an actual virus is highly unlikely. There is a way to shut off the securities for these phones so that the phone can actually load apps outside of the protective umbrella of the App Store. There are ways to do that. Usually that's the only people that are doing that is if they're trying to do some sort of development thing with the phone, or they're trying to bypass something, or they're trying to flash the phone, or they're trying to get something that was normally paid for free. You know, when you start dabbling in that world, that's when some of these wacky things can happen. But for normal use, stick with the app stores and you'll be perfectly fine. This is Aaron Moss, Computer Doctor of Tucson. Also, this is the Computer Doctor Show, Mobile Edition. Give me a call. Let me know what you think and what other future videos you would like to see. Take care now.